Buddy, thanks for coming out on this night that's just a little bit chipper. I want to welcome you all to the DeKalb City Council regular meeting of January 26th. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Zazada. Larson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Carlson.
Here.
Powell. Verbic.
Here.
Walker. Mayor Barnes.
Here. I did have Alderman Powell reach out to me beforehand, let me know there was some family issues that he had to take care of, so he wasn't going to be able to make it tonight. With that, if you all would please rise, and Captain Hy-Vee, if you don't mind, leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, sir.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Shadow. And boy, if you all weren't watching the Bears game when the national anthem was done, that's something I would catch on YouTube. When you have, how many people fit in the Bears Stadium?
60,500.
60,500 people singing the national anthem with the singer. It was a moving moment. Both teams. I mean, they both were like, wow, listen to this. So I love starting our meetings like this. All right, and then we'll move on to approval of the agenda. Agenda item C. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Verbic. Any comments or questions on that? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Larson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Verbic.
Yes.
Zazada.
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. All right, the agenda has been approved. We're going to move on to agenda item D, presentations. Along this note, you'll notice that we have our Pause for Patriotism. This year is the celebration of the 250th anniversary of our country, the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Every meeting, we're going to take a moment and we're going to talk a little bit about patriotism. What I will encourage all of you in the audience and those listening and council members, if there's anything you wanted to call out, read during this moment, we'll only take like 3 to 5 minutes, but it's a moment that we should reflect on our founding fathers who got us where we are today, doing what we are doing today, and just taking that pause out of respect, out of, I don't know, reverence, just to make sure that we remember where we came from, who we are, and what's most important. So with that, we do have, we're going to do back-to-back meetings. Our city manager, Mr. Bill Nicholas, is going to talk about Henry, which I love, my son's name, Henry's Miracle.
And just before I do, I want to make an introduction, if I may.
Please.
In our audience tonight, we have Alexa Hayes, who will stand up for a moment. Alexa,
Hey, Alexa.
is an intern this semester. She is a second semester senior at NIU, and she is considering a career in public administration.
That's great.
So I invited her to a council meeting to see democracy in action at the local level, which is the best you'll find. So welcome.
Welcome. And I can't tell you enough, you have the best you can find to learn from in our city manager here. But absolutely welcome. And so you all know, this young lady came not just highly recommended, it was advocacy. People reached out and made sure it was abundantly clear how important it would be if there was an opportunity to have you come on board. And that says a lot about your character because it says what people think and talk about you when you're not around. So can't tell you enough. Welcome, enjoy the experience, and learn as much as you can from this man right here.
And everybody in this room. It's going to be fun tonight. A little bit of everything. So thank you, Mayor, for the introduction. When we last met, we talked a little bit about Mr. Hancock, and the timing was 1776-ish, although we did make a reference to the fact that Hancock was actually in Lexington the day of the first skirmish between the colonial militia and the British regulars. And he got out of there because as much as he wanted to be a military hero, everybody knew that he was much better with speaking his mind, and the constitutional, or not the constitutional, the convention was needing his guidance. So we were going to leave. I was going to take us on a time warp to some other place to talk about patriotism in another context. But I guess I was just being selfish. There is a story, and history is about stories, and people who teach history should never get away from telling stories and loving the stories that they tell, because otherwise we have to sit through those classes. Did you ever do that when you were? I'm looking at Alexa. History class, yeah. I'll be very brief today. The story is about Henry's miracle. So Lexington and Concord have occurred. The Continental Congress has already dispatched George Washington to Boston to take charge of what they called the Continental Army. And while he's there, it very quickly was obvious that Boston was under siege. The British controlled all the waterways leading to and from Boston, and Boston's great harbor. Also all the land routes in, and they had encouraged loyalists to leave the city. Now, the city of Boston at that point was half the size of DeKalb is today, but it was one of our biggest cities, most heavily populated, down by the wharves. So people who ran the shipbuilding and the wharves and so forth were leaving, many of them, thinking, it's a little early in this revolution, I think I'm going to take the British side. So they left. So what? So Washington thought, we need to establish ourselves as the new army for this emerging country. And the only way to do that is really to take Boston. And how do you take Boston when you're surrounded? Well, Boston has heights. How many of you have heard of Bunker Hill? All right, Bunker Hill and Breeds Hill were two of the major heights overlooking Boston Harbor. And there have been a lot of terrible, tragic lives lost at Bunker Hill and Breeds Hill. And the one that was left that hadn't been touched was Dorchester Heights, and it was the tallest one. And Washington knew from his labors in the French and Indian War on the British side that if he could get some cannon up there, then he could command the harbor, and without probably firing a shot, the British would have to retire from the cordon that they had around Boston. But how to do that? And where would he get the cannon? This is a country this America, that didn't even have a bank yet, let alone a lot of military hardware. But it just so happened that about 50 farmers, mostly, in Vermont, took a British fort, Ticonderoga, some months before. And then they abandoned it because the British abandoned it pretty quickly. And there are a lot of cannon up there. In the background, you'll see there were 58 mortars and cannon. The problem was, that was the good news. The bad news was it was 300 miles away. And remember, at this point, they didn't have delivery trucks and semi-trailers and things like that. So what had to happen is that they had to walk their way in with sleds and oxen 300 miles to Ticonderoga, load up the cannon and the mortars, and then drag them back. The combined weight of those artillery pieces was about 60 tons. So they loaded them on sleds. And the miracle of miracles, it only took 40 days to go there and come back. But imagine this, how many of you jog or walk, a lot on a regular basis? Okay, so 300 miles is long if it was flat, right? So this is the whole length, almost the whole length of Vermont, through Albany and New York, eastern New York, from the north to the south, and then the whole length of Massachusetts, from west to east to Boston, 300 miles. The Berkshires were in between, and they're some of the highest Appalachian mountains in New England. And they did this all with sleds. They lost one cannon in a creek that was not fully frozen, and it took them a couple days to jack it out, but they got that too. So they arrived with all of that hardware around this date on February 26, It's not exact, we don't know. They didn't take, selfies and videos. So, and having done that, it took them another 2 weeks, but they eventually snuck up onto Dorchester Heights, and the next morning, after all of them were sort of in place and pushed out so they could be seen from the harbor, one of the captains on one of the British ships, and by the way, there were 120 of them under sail, or not under sail, but with sail, looked up and said that he thought that the transformation was equal to that of the genie belonging to Aladdin's wonderful lamp, which was holy cow, you fill in the word. So it took another 2 weeks, but eventually all of the British forces left. They left with 9,000 troops. In addition, some women and children, and about 1,100 loyalists who now feared that they had chosen the wrong side. So we better get out of Dodge, or Boston, as it were. And at this point, the aims of the revolution had not been defined yet. This is before, it's about 3 months before the Declaration of Independence was adopted. And another thing I just want to say, well, two things I want to say. One is that the mastermind of this was a fellow named Henry Knox. That's what the story's about, Henry's miracle. So he had no military training. When he conceived of all this, he was 25 years old. He was a manager of a bookshop in Boston. And when he got back with all this, Washington made him head of artillery. Well, this is okay, but he still never fired a cannon. But he learned, and he was with Washington in every battle that Washington was in to the end of the war. And stayed with him every day until the finish. That's a glorious story. It's one of those bits of soldiering that you read about and you just wonder. I can't imagine if we have the ethos anymore to do something like that, but it was remarkable. But I want to make a point, and this will lead us into the next pause for patriotism. It's really worthy of note that valor in that war was not restricted just to free white farmers and merchants. There were 36 or more free black males who fought at Lexington and later went on to fight at Concord. Interestingly, at this time in our history, black men and white men lived alongside each other in regiments that were more fully integrated than American forces would be again until the Vietnam War. A lot happened in between, so stay tuned. We've got another 9 months. We'll touch on that. Thank you.
Thank you, City Manager. For those of you that don't realize, our city manager has his PhD in philosophy with history. Well, isn't it philosophy and then history is your emphasis, or just history?
Doctor of Philosophy, it's one of those
Yes.
tricky things.
The degree on his wall is philosophy, but it's all about history. So it's when he comes to the podium and talks about this, it isn't just because he was asked to read about a pause for patriotism. It's a true patriot coming before us and sharing his love of this country and his love of the particular topic. So thank you, City Manager. That was great.
Thank you. Now, one more thing. Scott Zach is here.
Yeah, it's the next one.
And,
we're going to get to it.
Or
That's
do you
the
want, you're going to do it? Okay.
Well, I can announce the
Yes, sir.
second agenda. Okay. Teamwork right here.
Yes, sir.
So we have a second presentation, which I'm particularly excited about, from Scott Zach, and he's going to give us an update on America 250, an initiative that is happening in our community right now to, again, celebrate the anniversary of our country, the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And Scott has really stepped up to lead this group and help take charge of the community, the meetings that we're having, I bet there's 50 people that show up. We've got representation from governing bodies to nonprofits to individuals, everyone who just wants to figure out how can we in the city of DeKalb celebrate the anniversary of our country, and how can they lean in, how can we collaborate with each other, bless you, and how can we make sure that we give due respect to our founding fathers. So without further ado, Scott Zach.
All right, thank you, Mayor. So you experienced one piece of America 250 DeKalb, and I just have a slideshow of some of the other things we've been working on. But to take a step backwards, when we first started this, we realized that this was a chance to do something bigger than just fireworks and activities. And one of the things which is exemplified by the Pause for Patriotism is to kind of help the public reconnect with the ideals of the Declaration of Independence. So the first thing we created was our America 250 DeKalb vision, which goes through the significance of the Declaration of Independence. It's followed by how it's been used throughout our country's history to kind of put the country on the right course, and then how it can be used in the future, and the promise really it offers the guiding the future generation. And so we try to keep the Declaration and the significance of the Declaration at the heart of everything we do. The other thing that America 250 DeKalb offers us is an opportunity to build unity in the city of DeKalb. So this quickly went from a city initiative to a community-wide initiative. And we invited 35 organizations, basically everybody we could think of and had email addresses for, and invited them to the Egyptian Theater. Specifically picked September 11th as the day to hold that, to kind of remind people of the unity that was seen in the country that day after the terrorist attacks of 2001, and try to encourage people to build that same unity locally. And most of the time, we did some little introductory pieces, but most of the hour was spent brainstorming and listening to the community's ideas. So to keep that momentum going, we've been holding monthly meetings of what we're now calling the America 250 DeKalb Committee. This was our last one earlier this month across the hall. We give a quick update on what the city's doing, hear what community groups are doing, and talk about how we can help one another. We are beginning to move from the brainstorming phase to the action phase. To the left, the DeKalb Public Library has programmed 6 months worth of programs, events surrounding America 250 DeKalb. You'll see our little logo on their marketing materials there, trying to do branding across the entire thing, but they already have 6 months worth of programming planned. DeKalb Rotary in May is planning to hold a bike decorating contest as a part of America 250 DeKalb. And then DeKalb Township gave me permission to announce here first that they'll be helping the community plant 250 trees this year as a part of America 250 DeKalb. The other thing the city provides is kind of a structure to help all the organizations promote their events and then to promote the initiative. So we have the America 250 DeKalb website. You know, this has your normal things. Of course, it has a calendar of events where the organizations can put their events. And we have a special part. It's called What Patriotism Means to You. We're asking people to personalize America 250 DeKalb. Why is the country important to you? What does patriotism mean to you? And we hope to get a diverse range of voices for our Facebook page and videos as far as why this is important to a wide range of our community. And so you guys can fill that out too. We'd love to feature you guys in videos on the website about why patriotism is important to you. Along with the website, of course, you get the social media pages. We have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages up at the handle 1DeKalb250. The vision statements there. Anna from the Chamber came up with these templates where we'll be sharing responses to that patriotic question and other things. We'll also, of course, be promoting all the events. In front of you, you have one of our America 250 DeKalb posters, which we'll be putting up in the downtown businesses and other public gathering places to encourage people to go to the website. And then anybody who's watching this on the cable channel can use the Contact Us page on the website to request a poster, and we'll bring one to you. So we're encouraging everybody in the community to join into this and do projects and do events, so it's only fitting that the city do some of our own things too. And for this, we've enlisted our Environmental Commission and Enhancement Commissions. One of the first ideas at the Egyptian Theater was to do red, white, and blue flowers. So the Public Works Department is arranging so we get a bigger order of red, white, and blue flowers this year, and we're thinking about doing a planting day like we've done in previous years. There's Alderwoman Larson and Janine from the Egyptian Theater participating in that. Other things we're looking at, some lamppost banners. Our American flag banners are beginning to tear, so maybe refreshing those. These would be reusable, would not just be America 250 DeKalb. We would use these for a long time. We're looking at putting flags on the banners, also reusing our Christmas lights in a patriotic way. And so we talked about beautification with our commissions, but what they were really excited was litter cleanup. So we've met with the trash squirrels, they're gonna be involved. Then Al Ferris with our Enhancement Commission came up with the phrase, clean up the town for America 250. So we're gonna plan some litter pickups across the city, or we're gonna encourage our citizens to volunteer to help clean up the city ahead of America 250. We'll be logging our hours on the National America 250 website. Then we think by encouraging people to help clean up, that'll inspire civic pride, thinking about sustainability, and then going back to that unity. The other piece the city is proposing is some civic projects. This is the downtown pedestrian pass-through lighting installation designed by Elisa Bonner for the downtown, which you'll be considering tonight. These are being included in America 250. It's not just for America 250. These are projects that have been discussed for many years since I've been around. We've been talking about trying to enhance the downtown pedestrian pass-through. We've also, for over a year, since the old Lincoln Highway mural fell and was destroyed, we've been talking about doing something bigger to serve as an entrance to the east side of the downtown. But by doing them now, this could be our legacy of America 250 DeKalb. The fireworks will fade, the parades will be over, but people will always be able to look back and go, oh, they did that as part of America 250, as part of the anniversary. But I'll take any questions, or I'll be around to answer any questions about the projects.
Excuse me, council.
Let it out. Let it up.
Any comments or questions for Scott as he's walking away?
Keep up the good work.
Absolutely.
Yes. It sounds like you guys are getting it great.
Thank you.
If you notice, we keep referring to the agenda item, Pause for Patriotism. I asked everyone in the audience and everyone listening, it's just that. We are all so busy. Our lives consume us with kids, grandkids, relationships, work, you name it. It's going to be really easy to blink, and we're going to be in 2027. But we have an opportunity right now to pause. Remember the story we just heard about Henry's Miracle. A bookstore manager somehow, some way, dragged how many tons of cannons? 60 tons of cannons to the Boston Harbor to help us fight off a monarchy, telling us who we are, what we should be, and helped us create this country. And here we all are doing our day-to-day. And I think it's important to put it in perspective, right? The challenges that we have, the obstacles that are before us, put in perspective of that bookstore manager stepping up and doing something that helped significantly change the tide of that war. Here we are, taking a pause for patriotism. These murals, the walkways, all that pale in comparison to Henry's Miracle, but they're our way of just investing in ourselves, investing in the pride of our community, and investing in what our founding fathers wanted, was a group of individuals getting together, making decisions, and improving people's lives. And this is, many of it is around the pursuit of happiness. So, Scott, I appreciate everything you're doing. Keep up the great work at America 250. And yeah, happy birthday to our country. All right. Anything else on that? No? All right. All right. Moving on to agenda item E, public participation. I have none. Moving on to agenda item F, appointments. So number one, appointing Laura Anderson and Ann Schultz to the DeKalb Public Library Board, both for a 3-year term, July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. appointing Scott Sisler to the Planning and Zoning Commission for a 5-year term, January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2031. Appointing Courtney Gallagher, Northern Illinois University, and Jose Vasquez, DeKalb County Health Department as ex officio members of the Citizens Environmental Commission. And reappointing Julie Jesmer, Miss Trash Squirrels herself, and Robert Strigler, I know I just got that wrong, but Strigler, to the Citizens Environmental Commission, both for a 2-year term, January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028. Can I have a motion to appoint all these wonderful people to our commissions?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Zazada, seconded by Alderman Carlson. Any comments or questions on that? All right, that's a nice round of appointments. We don't need roll call for appointments, do we? Oh, we do. I'm getting heads nodded. Roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. All right, all those appointments have been approved, which, just FYI, it looks like the second meeting in February, we're going to have a whole discussion on commissions, different roles, different ideas. We'll have some more appointments actually between now and then as well. But then I also encourage anyone out there listening, anyone in the audience who wants to take a little step up and start participating in local government. Our commissions are a great way to get introduced to how a city works and a lot of important topics that come before us. All right, moving on to agenda item G, consent agenda. Number 1, minutes of the regular city council meeting of January 12th, 2026. Yeah, I'll need a motion for this. Number 2, accounts payable and payroll through January 26th, 2026 in the amount of $4,149,028.73. 3, Freedom of Information Act FOIA report, December 2025. And that's it. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderman Smith. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Carlson,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. The consent agenda has been approved. Moving on to agenda item H, public hearings. 1, I'm going to go ahead and call the public hearing to order for use my watch, 6:27 for the Community Development Block Grant, 5-year Consolidated Plan 2026 through 2030, and Annual Action Plan, 1-year use of funds for Program Year 33, April 2026 through March 31st, 2027. Is there anyone in the audience that wanted to speak on this public hearing? Hearing none. City manager, anything on this?
No,
I
there's
know
a
we got the
resolution
agenda item
number
coming.
10.
Yep.
Right.
Council, anything, or we'll wait till our agenda item? Wonderful. I'll go ahead and close this public hearing at 6:27. Moving on to agenda item 2, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing at 6:27 as well for a proposed annexation and development agreement regarding approximately 114 acres of property located at the southeast corner of Peace Road and Fairview Drive, Chicago West Business Center, Region 4, DeKalb Commerce Center. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this agenda item? I believe Mr. Krasinski would like to have a few comments.
Thank you. Good evening. Jeff Krasinski, President and CEO of Krasinski Construction, here on behalf of Chicago West Business Center. Very grateful and pleased to be here in front of you tonight to discuss the next development that we'd like to put in front of you. I think we've all heard a lot about things that we've been working on south of I-88, Regions 1, 2, and 3, and what we formerly called as Region 4 north of I-88, we're introducing tonight as DeKalb Commerce Center. And the strategy of DeKalb Commerce Center looks and feels a little different than what we've done in the past to the south. We feel that this parcel, as you noted, at the southeast corner of Peace and Fairview, sits perfectly for us to bring amenities to the city of DeKalb. And what we are envisioning here is a mix of a lot of different businesses and uses. We're fortunate that, we'll get into a little bit more of the detail, but we're able to kick this park off with a travel center with Pilot, and we do have Mr. Jack Reimer here with Pilot, and they're looking very much forward to being a member of this community. But we are also looking forward to improving the entire plus or minus 114 acres with other uses, and that could be hotels and restaurants and commercial uses, retail uses. And so we're asking for the annexation, rezoning, and redevelopment agreement for the entire 114 acres so that we can very quickly respond to potential users in the future and then come before this board, as well as working with the city staff in order to accommodate those requests. In addition, we have the preliminary development of this corner of where Pilot sits, just under 11 acres at the hard corner of Peace and Fairview. There is a plus or minus 3 acre lot 2 just to the south of there for future commercial or retail use, as well as the public right-of-ways that are going to be the entry into DeKalb Commerce Center. This will allow for easy flow for truck traffic coming off of Peace Road into the park and entering into the Pilot Travel Center from the east there. And then auto traffic can enter from Fairview. We have a right in, right out going into Pilot. Truck and auto traffic would then exit out to the north onto Fairview and then back onto Peace Road and onto 88. So very convenient, certainly for travelers coming up on 88. Obviously, all the businesses that we've all been working so hard to attract and maintain here in DeKalb, this would be a great amenity for them as well. And we're just looking forward to seeing how this is going to develop in the future. The area out to the east is future, and so we're not quite sure where streets might land or things, but that's what we're going to be working on bringing future businesses to the rest of the park. I think we went through a couple. Pilot is working on their architectural and civil drawings in order to get in front of the city of DeKalb. They'll be submitting those shortly if we're approved. We are also asking for 2 65-foot signs on the southeast corner of the site adjacent to I-88. And this is one of the signs for Pilot to notify travelers that this is coming up at this exit. And one is for a future tenant use, whether that might be for a hotel or some other business that wants to notify travelers that there's their business available at that exit. One of the reasons for the height is, as you can see, we put together a little bit of a concept exhibit here of what these sight lines look like. As you can see, coming from the east towards the west at the 3/4 mile, half mile, and quarter mile, you can certainly see the Pilot sign to make people aware to merge over and get ready to exit. A little bit different story coming from the west heading east. Even at 65 feet, it's difficult to see that sign at 3/4 mile. Can barely see it at the half mile, and then finally you can kind of see it at the quarter mile. So we need that height in order to make sure we can move traffic safely over to the exit and get off to use that amenity. So those are just some of the things that we're thinking of and strategizing for the future of this. We do have a concept plan here for Pilot. As I said, it'll be a very their facilities are phenomenal. They have excellent convenience store, as well as they're going to have the auto filling station, the diesel filling station, some potential for truck parking there, which is much needed, as we all know, is when the drivers need to, when they meet their time limit and they need to take a rest, that is a safe area that they can go and stay with. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. We also, as I mentioned, have Mr. Jack Ramier from Pilot if we need any of that. So,
Thank you, Mr. Krasinski. If you all remember, usually public hearings, we just have presentations, the public speaks. I would love if we could defer question and answer to our actual agenda item, which is coming up, if that's okay with everyone.
yes.
With that, is there anyone from the audience that would like to speak on this public hearing about this topic at this time? All right, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:34. And we'll defer conversation to the agenda item. Moving on to agenda item I, considerations, we have none. Then agenda item J, resolutions. Resolution 2026-010, approving the Community Development Block Grant 5-year consolidated plan, 2026 through 2030, and annual action plan, 1-year use of funds, for program year 33, April 1st, 2026 through March 31st, 2027. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Carlson, seconded by Alderwoman Larson. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. So we, at this time of the year, do not know what the federal allocation is going to be. We have it on fairly good authority. It will be somewhere in the vicinity of about $400,000, which is where we've been. We have some funds to carry over, not because we haven't had good uses for them, but it takes, it's a process to run through, and we try to be flexible and adapt to changing circumstances locally, and every time you want to change a plan or a project, then you have to go back through a process, and each one of those is about 3 to 4 months. So we have some money, and we love to spend it all this year. We'll see what we get from the federal government, from HUD, for us soon enough, probably in another couple of months. And what's before you is a proposed allocation, because we're at this time of the year, even though we don't have all the specifics for sure, we need permission on this annual action plan, which is consistent with the overall 5-year plan. Specifically, there are 4 types of activities. There's housing rehab, public services, public facilities, which can include just handicap ramps and the like, and then administration. This grant every year pays for a good part of the overhead, I guess you would say, in terms of our own city staff support for this program. The 1-year budget has to be approved by the City Council before any money can be applied for. All projects have to meet those HUD objectives I just briefly touched on, and have to qualify as CDBG activities. So we recommend your support for this general action plan. More specifics will come as we get the actual numbers.
Council, questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution 2026-010 passes. Moving on to number 2, Resolution 2026-011, authorizing human services funding agreements in the amount of $300,000 with local service agencies covering the period from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Verbeek, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. City Manager.
Thank you. So we moved to a different kind of funding for social service purposes. This is our Human Services Funding Program. This is a program that we've had in place for a couple of decades. Back in the 70s and 80s, there was something called federal revenue sharing. When that all dried up, a lot of communities, large and small, across the country, tried to pull together pools of funds that could be used to continue to support legitimate and needed social services. In our case, we started with about $185,000, I think, and we're up to $300,000 now at the council's direction back in December. There are certain requirements for the allocation of these monies. And by the way, these monies are all local funds, operating funds of the cities. In our case, City of DeKalb, with taxes, fees, and the like. Among the general criteria are categories that touch on nutrition, health, and housing, or in and around the fringes of all of that. We made it very widely known that we were going to increase by $50,000 our allocation this year. Last year, for $250,000, we had $416,000 worth of and change in applications. This year, going up just $50,000, we went half again as much. We were over $600,000, about $608,000 worth of application monies applied for. So it was tough for us to review. Here's how we review. We have a 5-member review team. We evaluate and have created a scoring rubric. And Jennifer Yoakum, who's our community services coordinator, is in the audience tonight, can speak to the specifics. But what we're looking for is impact in the year that the funding is made available. The feasibility is, are these agencies able to carry out, do they have a history that shows they can carry out the services and use that money wisely? And also, will they align with our city objectives, again, looking at housing and nutrition and emergency shelter, and also service to persons who are maybe unable to care for themselves at this point, temporarily or otherwise. And so you have a long list, covers 2 pages here. Sorry for the fine print. That's the best we could do to try to get these spread out for you. The agency needs, as I said, were reviewed by a 5-member team. And then after that, the recommendations came to me, and there was a little bit of give and take, and then it came to you in this agenda. We could probably never end in trying to find some permutations here, and some that you'll have in mind, maybe just exactly what we need to do. But what we try to do is give you our best judgment, and to show where their funding was last year, what they've asked for this year, and what our recommendation was.
Herculean task, for sure. Council, any questions or comments on the recommendation by city staff on the allocation of these funds? Yes, Alderwoman Larson.
Not necessarily recommendations, just like, I hope everyone realizes the amount of man-hours
Yeah.
that it took to come. These are not quick decisions that's like, oh yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. I can't imagine the amount of time it took, so I really appreciate Jennifer and the 5 members and every Bill's time, City Manager Nicholas, that this is awesome to get it down to this.
Absolutely.
Really
Yeah.
great.
Any other comments or questions? Kudos to council and Alderman Verbeek for suggesting we increase the amount of funding that we give this particular program, because as you said, Alderwoman Larson, the need out there is great. So it made my heart feel better to know that we're kicking in a little bit more to help those that just need every little bit of extra assistance that they can get. All right, with that, roll call, please.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Abstain.
Carlson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Resolution 2026-011 passes. Moving on
Alderman Verbeek.
Oh.
Yes.
I didn't think.
Sorry,
I
it's
missed
called.
you, sir.
There was a big pause there, so I jumped on it. All right, after the final roll call, Resolution 2026-01 passes. Apologize for not paying attention to all the names being read. All right, moving on to number 3, Resolution 2026-012, authorizing the waiver of competitive bidding and an agreement with Lane Company for repair of well number 11 in an amount not to exceed $225,000. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderwoman Zazada. City Manager.
Thank you. As I stated in the background, just before Christmas, our well 11 went down. The motor failed. We tried different ways to restart it. We had some continual breaker tripping, and we called in Lane Christensen, who has been under contract with us for a while, to provide their expertise to diagnose the issue. It appears to involve either the electrical cable connection to the motor itself, which is down several hundred feet, or something else, but it's not something we can tend to above the surface. We're going to have to pull that motor, and hopefully the motor, which is submersible, obviously, is okay, but we won't know that until we get it up, and that involves removing also column pipe, and we have been through this in the last couple of years on one other occasion, you may recall, and it took a couple of months to get it all put back together again, and it can be At that time, it was more on the expensive side. It can also be miraculous that, it's just something that's not working, we can fix it, throw it back in. That's usually not how this works. So what we're asking for here is a balloon so that we, in the middle of it, we don't have to come back, lose a couple weeks when time is of the essence. This is, by the way, our best producer. It's about 2 million gallons a day. So people know, oh, that's a lot. Well, it is a lot. But we have a theoretical capacity of over 12 million gallons a day, but that would be pumping at all the wells with all the pumps going full tilt, which isn't going to last but a day. So on the average, we're a little bit north of 9 million, where we can comfortably do that and also fill our tanks and do it also off peak, so we're not paying premium prices for electrical support. And our average that we pump on a pretty heavy regular day, but no outstanding other events like major fires and so forth, it's about 3.5 million. So we have the capacity to keep going. We could lose another well, but we want to get going and get this repaired as fast as we can. So Lane Christensen has the most experience with the equipment that we have in the well. We'd like to waive the competitive bidding and go with them. They, as I said, have seen the area, the situation at the well. It could be less than that, but this would cover us. We have money in our water fund. Currently, we have about $100,000 that was going to be used for a routine inspection of well number 15. We'd like to take that, and then if we need to take other money, we have that, and we would come back to you with a budget amendment at the appropriate time. We usually do that at March or April, because we'll have other things in the overall city budget we want to clean up a little bit. So we hope you'll agree that this is the right thing to do.
Council, questions or comments?
Gotta fix it.
Yeah, I see this is the broken window theory, like you said. Could we survive without it? No. Or yes, we could, but, you know, us making these investments, maintaining those utilities that we're responsible for, I think would give a high level of confidence to the developers and the owners of organizations like Pilot when they come to our community. They know the lights are going to stay on, the sanitation's going to be there, and the water's going to pump. So I couldn't agree more with making sure that we take care of our own house, city manager. All right, roll call, please.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Resolution 2026-012 passes. Moving on to number 4, Resolution 2026-013, authorizing a 5-year retainer agreement with Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley and McClure for consultant engineering services at DeKalb Taylor Municipal Airport. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Carlson. Man, I'm just tongue-tied.
You're fine, man.
Alderman Carlson and seconded by Alderwoman Zazada, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. The council's aware, maybe people in the audience or people listening in today may not know, but our general aviation airport does not compare ramp to ramp with O'Hare, but we are
Midway.
in the federal aviation system, and from time to time, we need to work with the federal and state authorities to find the grant support that we need for upgrading our general aviation site. And in order to do that, we have historically, for 40 years, worked with a consulting firm of one stripe or another who have day-to-day experience with the people who to talk to, how to proceed with the more layered kind of applications for assistance, and have the patience and also the interest in us to make that successful. Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley has been a very good partner of ours. We're just coming out of a 5-year retainer agreement with them. We have something that our transportation improvement plan, or TIP, that we do every year, and this year we have some things that we want to proceed with, and we need to make sure that we have all the right people talking to all the right people with the money. But aside from that, we went out for proposals, And when we do professional proposals, it's not so much the price per hour, although we ask them for what their prices are based on the classification, full engineer, engineering assist, and so forth. But we are primarily looking at experience. We had 3 applicants. 2 of the 3 we felt really should be on our list that we draw from. Just like we do with streets, we have 6 or 7, and we try to spread the work around, and it's been very successful for us. Some are more focused on this aspect than another. For the first time, we'd like to propose to you that we do the same with our airport operations. And in specific terms, what we'd like to do is work with Crawford Murphy Tilley and with McClure, who we haven't worked with before, but they presented very well. They have a good work history, in particular with general aviation airports in the upper Midwest. And there is a representative in our audience tonight in case you have some questions. But we're recommending both to be used appropriately as projects arise and as funding is required.
Council, comments or questions on this one? So you have to bear with me. This job can be hard, so sometimes it's fun to have a little fun. You made a comment that we're not O'Hare, but my daughter got her pilot's license when she was 17.
Yeah.
And I flew with her. And coming into our airport, I felt like I was on a 737 with 200 souls on board coming in hot. So it felt just like O'Hare to me. So I have a lot of respect for our airport.
Okay.
All right, hearing no other comments or questions, roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Resolution 2026-013 passes. All right, moving on to number 5. Just so you all know, I won't be able to vote on this one because I own a commercial building in the TIF district. But I think it's okay if I go ahead and call it, read it, call for roll, things like that, but I will not participate in the conversation. Which leads us to number 5, Resolution 2026-014, authorizing an architectural improvement program, economic incentive for 214 East Lincoln Highway in the amount of $6,378.88. Tom Sherman, Class 6. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Verbic, seconded by Alderwoman Larson. City Manager.
Thank you. In reading the title, the mayor basically covered the ground here. We had an emergency repair that was required just before the end of the holidays, and we've done this some before. We didn't have a council meeting coming up very soon, and in order to get this before you, we also needed a paid receipt from the particular repair. So that's never good. Oh.
No. Yeah. I forgot to tell him he can leave.
Well, my
Yeah.
public works director just left. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Not discussed.
what's before you tonight is a repair of the walk-in cooler refrigeration system, which is essential for that particular restaurant business. And the total was about $12,800, and half of that is $6,400, and this was for electrical and HVAC work that were germane to the freezer area, so we feel it's consistent with all aspects of our requirements, and we recommend your approval.
Council, questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Carlson,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Resolution 2026-014 passes. And it's Liza Bauner, right?
Lisa.
Elisa, God. You have to forgive me. I know this, but I just want to clarify. All right, moving on to agenda item 6, resolution 2026-015, authorizing a walkway lighting installation agreement with Elisa Bauner for an amount not to exceed $53,400. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Carlson, seconded by Alderman Smith. City Manager.
Thank you.
Tell us about this exciting project.
Yeah, and Scott Zach gave us a little bit of background to this one and the next one. And both of these proposals would be funded from the $250,000 that the council had allocated for the America 250 program in DeKalb. This particular project would be in a pass-through that was created back in 2008 when there was some major downtown revitalization going on. It connects Van Buren Plaza with Lincoln Highway. It's a well-used shortcut, a popular photo spot, and we found out. In the picture you saw, and it's the same picture that's in your background, you see a lot of white paint and stuff. So on occasion, we have people who are expressing themselves in ways that aren't exactly
Nice way of
acceptable.
putting it.
So sometimes you just white that over, but we're looking to upgrade this in such a way, and also, of course, we'll provide more regular walkthroughs with some of our constabulary, just to make sure that everybody's enjoying it in the way it was intended. But what is intended here is a delightful artistic project that is designed by Elisa, who's in the front row tonight. We're familiar with her. If you haven't been to her studio, which is just on the Lincoln Highway side, you should try to look at the hours and go in there and just see
Artifacts, yes,
the scope
definitely.
of her work. And the media that she works with. In this case, she's got designed 15 different luminaria that would be suspended. They would be aluminum, but there will be lots of colors. There are laser cut designs at the bottom of each piece. They'll be powder coated in at least 5 different colors, hung by cable, and it will, I think, attract even more photo shoots and the like. It's exciting. The $53,400 covers the design, the fabrication, the powder coating, delivery, the installation, and as I said, the funding comes from the America 250 budget, which is in Fund 400, our capital projects fund. If you're looking for it, it's under line item 69700. Recommend your approval.
Council, questions or comments? Yes.
I'd just like to add that was 2008, because I worked on this. The actual lights, I was there. And I think I remember back then, they were even saying with that
Yeah.
pass-through, it's
It'll be
going to
better.
be
Yeah.
later on,
Yeah.
before we
Here-
come
here
in
it
with
is.
more money. I love it, 17 years later, we're going to do it. That's great. I didn't have hair back then either, though.
We're
So
not
it's
fast, but we're steady.
Yeah,
Right.
and I love this, to have it come full circle, and I cannot wait to see what you do. It is something that everyone, this last 17 years, has used, especially at Corn Fest. I think it's a great thing.
Alderwoman Zazada.
I just want to point out, because there was lots of talk online about where the funding was coming from, and just want to highlight, as the city manager mentioned, that the funding is coming from the America 250 DeKalb Budget Fund. So not taxpayer dollars in this case, right?
No, that'd be taxpayer dollars. It's just part of the
Part
budget
of
that
the-
we carved out to spend on
Okay.
projects associated with the 250, yes.
Gotcha.
Sales tax, not property tax.
Got it, got it. So just want to highlight that, and I love this project, and thank you to you and to the Community Enhancement Commission for making this come to fruition.
Yeah, I'm glad you called them out. Our city clerk, Brad Hoy, is the chairman of our Community Enhancement Commission. They've done a lot of work. If you haven't seen our utility boxes all over town that have art on them, the mural projects that have happened have all gone through them, the Paint a Plug program. The city of DeKalb has really been investing significantly in art, and I'm a huge believer. Because of my job, I travel the country constantly, and everywhere I go where there's a lot of art, I form a positive emotional connection to that community. And we're doing that here in the city of DeKalb now. So a project like this, you know, sometimes we whether people on the line agree or not, sometimes I think it's important to carve a little bit of dollars out of our budget to beautify our community. And I think there's an overwhelming amount of people out there that when they see it, they think, man, that's really cool. And it gives them a little bit more pride. I know we all have a ton of pride already in our community, Alderman Carlson, but it gives all of us a little more pride in the community that we have. So I'm really happy about this project. Can't wait to see the fruition of it. Super excited. Any other comments or questions? Any comments you'd like to make? All right, I love it. I love it. All right. With that, roll call, please.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. Resolution 2026-015 passes. So you are more than welcome to leave right now because you need to get started on this project. We want it up as soon as possible, so.
Wait till it gets warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, there's some indoor work. She'll be okay. All right, and no kidding, I know how busy you are. You don't have to stay, but if you want to, you're more than welcome to, but you're more than welcome to leave as well. Moving on to number 7, Resolution 2026-016, authorizing a mural services agreement with Kristen Sandlin for an amount not to exceed $38,500. Can I have a motion to bring it to the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Carlson. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. So a little different kind of art in our downtown is proposed here. This would be a new public mural. It honors our city's connection to the historic Lincoln Highway, which runs right through the middle of our downtown. Its namesake, Abraham Lincoln, and the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And this is also part of our America 250 DeKalb initiative. There was another mural that had been installed back in 2006 on the east-facing wall of the building at the corner of North 7th and East Lincoln Highway. The original mural also depicted Lincoln Highway's significance. It failed, the fastening points, some of them failed in just the weight of the panels. It wasn't painted on at that time, caused it to fall to the sidewalk, and it was not repairable. We're taking a different approach this time in replacing the mural. But the CCEC was eager to find something in particular in this time period of our Quinn Bicentennial. Is that what it-
250th.
Suffer on that. So those 3 themes would be celebrated. The picture you saw earlier went through a number of iterations, and this is one that we liked. And there's also a sentiment: let us unite as one people throughout this land until we shall once more stand up, declaring that all men are created equal. Now, that's how Lincoln put it. We read differently into that: all Americans are created equal. So it will cost about $38,500. It's, as I said, funded through our DeKalb America 250 budget. And we have applied for a 50-50 matching grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, and if we get that, great. If we don't, we have funds to take care of this locally, and we recommend your approval.
Council, any questions or comments? Is Kirsten here tonight, just out of curiosity? Okay, no worries.
I don't think so.
Hearing no questions or comments then, roll call, please.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes, Resolution 2026-016 passes. Moving on to Agenda Item K, ordinances, second reading, we have none. And Agenda Item L, can I do these in omnibus fashion, or no?
If you so.
These are all the 3 same agenda items. If council's okay, I would ask we just approve them in group fashion.
One discussion period.
One discussion
Yeah.
for all 3?
Sure.
Yep, okay. All right, so I would,
Yeah, you need one vote to have it as an omnibus, and then you're gonna vote on the substance matter afterwards.
yes, right. So I would take a vote to pass, or bring the next 3 ordinances to the table in omnibus fashion, and I'll read each one of them. Number 1, ordinance 2026-004, authorizing an annexation and development agreement, Chicago West Business Center, Region 4, DeKalb Commerce Center. Number 2, ordinance 2026-005, approving the annexation of approximately 114 acres located at the southeast corner of Peace Road and Fairview Drive, Chicago West Business Center, Region 4, DeKalb Commerce Center. And number 3, ordinance 2026-006, approving a zoning petition to rezone approximately 114 acres of property located at the southeast corner of Peace Road and Fairview Drive to the PDI, Planned Development Industrial District, and approving a concept plan, preliminary development plan, and final plat for the development of an industrial and commercial business park and a travel center, including a gas station, convenience store, restaurant, and packaged liquor store, collectively the Travel Center, Chicago West Business Center, Region 4, DeKalb Commerce Center. Can I have a motion to bring all 3 of those forward in omnibus fashion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderwoman Zazata. City Manager, break it down.
Thank you, Mayor. So there are three pieces to this. There is, first of all, an annexation and development agreement, as Jeff Krasinski mentioned, which defines the reciprocal terms and conditions between the developer and also the city government. The other two items are subordinate to that in this respect, in that the annexation action, which is the next ordinance, this is the middle ordinance, I guess you would say, should not be unreasonably resisted. If you agree to all the terms and conditions, then the annexation follows. Same with the rezoning, which is the third part. The rezoning is what really comes before the Planning and Zoning Commission, and the Planning and Zoning Commission had looked at this as it was described to you earlier tonight, and had recommended it unanimously 4-0. But let me just talk for a few minutes about the annexation and development agreement. We've had a number of these before the council and over the years, and the council is interested in a number of things I found. First of all, an overall concept plan for the acreage that's to be annexed. We've had people come in and say, I just want to take a slice of this, and I'll be good. Well, we want to know that there are lots of things. There's access issues, and whether the road's going to be private, public, what about stormwater runoff? What are the amenities going to be consistent, or are you going to have something here that doesn't match with that? So the Krasinski family has always been very eager to paint a wide canvas, and that's what they have done. In your background, you can see more detail in what the preliminary plan looks like with some other types of uses that could fit in here, but as Jeff Krasinski said earlier, they have not been identified. The core before you tonight is the 10-acre, which you see, a parcel that you see on the screen in front of you and facing the audience here tonight. And 10 of those acres in Lot 1 are the travel center, the pilot travel center. And then there's another Lot 2, which could be used for commercial purposes, such as restaurants and the like. There's also a central stormwater detention area that is a little over 3 acres. There we are, thank you. Who's doing that? That's Jeff in the back? Or is it Dan? I thought it. Dan. Oh, Dan's in the back, yeah. Dan loves that.
Messing with them.
So I have to say that at the staff level, we have been wondering when we would see a truck center, and this is much needed. If you just took the 2 Farrar buildings in the Amazon site, which is now occupied, you have a couple hundred of truck bays, and just that alone demands some attention to the people who are driving those vehicles to and from places. One of the features in this center, as Jeff just passed over, is the about 58 spaces for truck parking. Now, that's not so people just kind of make their home there for 2 or 3 days. Unless it was a blizzard, that would never happen. We have trucks that are looking for a place to park for several reasons every day. One is they were told to make a drop at 8, and they're not ready till 10. And what happens right now is they park in the center lane on Gurler. They go into town somewhere to try to maybe get a cup of coffee, and they're where they shouldn't be, and they don't want to be. They can't get to and from. And the other thing is that many of the drivers, they're professional drivers, and they sometimes they run all night, and they can only run so far and so long on the basis of state law in the state of Illinois. So they have to find some place to park. So sometimes it's just how they time their own deliveries. So that's important, and I just mention that because it sort of begs explanation. What is that for? The rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. We have a public road coming in from Peace Road. It's a right in and right out, and then the first public road on the Fairview side is a right in and right out. There is a full access point on the east side, but we don't want trucks going east of this down Fairview Drive onto the area that is not set up for, it's not an 80,000-pound truck route. So both during the construction period and also during, once this center is open, we're going to have signs that are directing traffic back to Peace Road. And I would think, unless the conditions obscure which way to go, trucks are absolutely want to go back to Peace to get back onto the tollway and go to wherever they're supposed to go next. So, as I said, much wanted, much desired by a lot of companies in our area. Pilot has a very good reputation for what they do. There are others that do this. Some of you who may invest through your 401ks or other ways for retirement or just for a living know something about Berkshire Hathaway. This is a Berkshire Hathaway owned company. They buy stock in such companies as Coca-Cola and Walmart. They're all value companies. They're in it for the long term, and Pilot is in it for the long term. I will also say that I just heard today at a meeting at the DeKalb County Economic Development Corporation, the Pilot was just awarded, or was just given an award for having the cleanest bathrooms in travel centers around the upper Midwest. So that's not nothing. So I will say that our experience with them has been very straightforward. They have been eager to answer our questions. They have performed in other places not too far from here, and we recommend approval of this development and annexation agreement. And if you agree to that, then we're also supporting the annexation and the rezoning.
Alderman Burbick.
As the city manager touched on, a long-standing need here in DeKalb, so this is exciting. Is it Mr. Reimer from Pilot? Could you touch on just broadly your security plan for the site in general, just knowing what we would expect to see there?
First off, thank you, City Manager, for the great introduction to what Pilot is and who we are as a business. As a Berkshire company, safety is of the utmost importance. So for safety, security, we're staffed 24/7. We've got site lights that will be throughout the site, both diesel and auto side. Our goal is a well-lit site for drivers and then for safety of the guest as well. And so that's the main point of security. It's professional drivers. If there's loiters or an issue like that, we'll engage the police. But generally speaking, we have great success with well-lit sites and parking that turns over.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Others? Alderman Smith.
Yeah, I know there's a big need, Bill, for truck parking. Thank you for that, because we're hit heavy traffic on Peace Road. I'm here, or not Peace Road, Fairview, especially 3M and Target and those. They're parking on the shoulders because they don't want to park all the way to our town to the west. So I think that'll draw a lot of parking here, i.e. fuel, et cetera, for them. So I think it's really, really needed. And thank you for bringing the project for both you gentlemen. Thank you.
Council, other questions, comments? Alderman Carlson.
I love this project. I've wanted it for years. I will say that I love the foresight, too, of the city from 2-3 years ago of redoing the intersection there at Peace and Fairview. I don't believe this would have worked under the old intersection. Also, the people going to get trains, a train ride in Elburn. I take Fairview to Kesslinger. There are no gas stations. And the last two are, I have a Pilot app. I know they're very competitive, and that's what's great, to bring down fuel costs. And then the last is, please, for the love of God, put in a car wash. I know everyone on the south side wants that. You put in a car wash, they're going to love you. So welcome to the neighborhood. I love it.
Any other comments or questions? No, agree with Alderman Carlson. We've been wanting a truck stop. City manager and I have been talking about this for years. Motor fuel tax, sales tax, and all of you in the audience and listening at home, we really do focus on the diversification of our tax base. It used to be all residential. Now we've got data centers. Now we've got distribution centers. Now we've got a truck stop. We continue to figure out ways to make sure we're not relying on one industry, and more importantly, not reliant on residential homeowners in how we fund all of our government bodies. So I'm super excited about this project.
Can I change my mind?
Yes, please.
Just to leapfrog off what you said, some of our choices that people like with data centers is like, well, it's just for taxes and stuff. But this is also providing services
Yeah.
for our residents as well. So that's what I think it's like a win-win. So.
It's a great point. Also, before I ask another question of our city attorney, you'll never find a better, more business-friendly government entity ever. And if you run into any issues whatsoever, don't hesitate, pick up the phone, call me directly. But I think Mr. Krasinski would tell you how wonderful we are and all departments in the city of DeKalb are to work for. As long as you're a good entity doing good things, which your reputation precedes you, I think it's going to be a wonderful relationship from the first shovel that goes in the ground to the day that you're operating as well. So absolutely welcome to the community. City Attorney, you were squirming when I was doing the omnibus stuff and talking with the Assistant City Manager.
Yeah,
So
you have a first and second on the procedural vote.
Uh-huh.
But there was no vote on that, so you have to vote on the procedural vote, and then you'll have to get a motion for the underlying substantive.
Okay, do I have to read all three for the
No, you don't.
underlying?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so we had a motion and a second to vote on these in omnibus fashion. I need a vote, I'll call roll call so we agree on that, and then I'll call for a first and second on bring it to the floor and then approving it at the same time. Am I right?
Yes.
All right, so roll call on voting on these in omnibus fashion.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Carlson,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. All right, so ordinance 2026-004, ordinance 2026-005, and ordinance 2026-006 have been approved to vote on in omnibus fashion. Now I would take a motion to vote on ordinance 2026-004 to approve ordinance 2026-004, 2026-005, and 2026-006 in omnibus fashion. Is that good?
Perfect.
All right.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Verbic, seconded by Alderman Smith. Any conversation, questions on this?
Love it.
If not, roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. So ordinance 2026-004, 2026-005, and 2026-006 have been passed on first reading. Now, I would like to ask for a waiver of second reading. Do I have to go through the same exact procedure?
No.
I can just ask for a waiver of second reading
Correct.
in omnibus fashion for those three?
Correct.
All right, so I
So
would take,
moved.
wait, I gotta read it, I'm sorry.
It's getting too deep in here.
I would take a motion to waive second reading in omnibus fashion for ordinance 2026-004, 2026-005, and 2026-006.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderwoman Larson, seconded by Alderman Carlson. Any comments or questions on waiving second reading? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Carlson,
Yes.
Verbic,
Yes.
Zazada,
Yes.
Larson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Barnes.
Yes. So, second reading has been waived for ordinance 2026-004, 2026-005, and 2026-006. And with that, how about a round of applause for Pilot and investing in our community? Again, welcome, and we're really looking forward to working with you. All right, we are at the end of our agenda. We've just got one more item to go through, which is reports and communications. Number one, council member reports. Alderman Smith, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Special thanks to Police, Fire, Public Works. I know Andy was out there, and even Transit on the fire Saturday. I would think, Luke, you're out there, what, 8 hours or longer? But more. A little more, but great job. Of course, the coldest day of the year, and I remember one of those long time ago up in the college area. So thank you and very good job, gentlemen.
Yeah. Alderman Verbeek.
Ward 6 would like to say many thanks to all of those working for the city that have been out in these conditions, doing everything they can for the residents of our city. Thank you very much.
Alderman Carlson.
I was going to mention the fire too, and I received a few phone calls, and sorry that you just got sworn in, but you nailed it like we thought you would. You were right out there, and I got asked if I'd go out there, and I said, no, I'm not qualified. I'm not a fire person. I'm not going out in -20 weather to get in your way, and I vow I never will. So, but great job. And with the frozen temperatures, check on your neighbors. One of my neighbors got locked out of her house with her dog when it was -20. And I had to go over and let her into her house. So check on them, make sure animals too. And I want to say a thank you to the businesses in town too. I had a business call me 2 days ago saying, I don't know where all the warming centers are, but I want to give them food. And John Finn at Pizza Villa, that's why I love you. You're a great man. Whenever it's bad or good, always wants to help. That's really it. I've been just inside because it's been so cold. Hopefully it'll get warm soon and we'll get out there again.
Alderman Larson.
Well, kind of what everyone else has been saying. After the fire on social media, what makes DeKalb great is all about the people. And what keeps us a small town, it's not about our size, it's about our people. And people were, oh my God, are those people that in the house that burned, do they need a place to stay? Do they need food? Do they need clothing? What can we do? Reaching out to help. And so along with all of our city support, the people of DeKalb are just great. They really are. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Alderman Zazada.
I'm just going to jump on this small town bandwagon here and say my family and I are doing Dry January. And class 6, we went over there and bumped into no less than 5 people that we knew, and he had alcohol-removed wine. So, just putting it out there, and I'm glad to see that we can help class 6 with their issues from December.
Absolutely. For me, I'm reiterating much what has already been said, but John Finn from Pizza Villa called me as well, and his only thing was, who needs help? Give him my cell. Have him call me. We'll send as many pizzas and we'll feed as many people as possible. And when I reached out to Hope Haven, when I reached out to the Universalist Church and talked with Dan Kenny, they didn't need anything because everyone already stepped up and provided all the food that they needed. I mean, how cool is that when you talk about the heart of our community? Here's someone that wants to help out, a restaurant in town, not even needed because a bunch of people already stepped up. That is why I absolutely love this community. Want to reiterate street, fire, and police. I mean, my gosh, I can't imagine what it's been like out there. I can't imagine what it's like dealing with the fire chief. I can't imagine what it's like pulling someone over or helping someone out when it's 30 degrees below zero and the wind is blowing. Don't even know what it's like. I can't imagine the plows and just the stress of that and everything. On top of you all have to do the day-to-day job with this kind of adverse weather. Just want to say I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And I've heard constantly from people in the community that say the exact same thing. So I'm just parroting what our community is saying, and what they're saying is thank you for all that you all do. Absolutely. And then I'll just say it once again, thanks for our local artists doing some incredible projects in our community. Thanks for the business community stepping up to invest in our community. I mean, when we look around, when we see what's going on in the city of DeKalb, it's pretty cool. And I got to give council all the credit in the world for helping create that environment, helping the city manager hire the right people, getting them on the bus and getting them in the right seats. But as a city of DeKalb, talk about a great way to start 2026. I think we're off and running. So I just want to express how much of a pleasure it is to work with everyone up here at council. And I just wanted to highlight all the wonderful things you're doing. And the last thing is, man, that Bears season, come on. That was awesome.
I'm still
I know
in
we
mourning,
lost,
man.
I mean,
We'll bring it
my
up.
gosh, that was great.
It was cold, I will tell you.
Yes, there's always next year. You were a Cubs, or you are a Cubs fan, you know this. All right, city manager, what you got?
Only one thing. We'll spend a little more time on this on the 9th, but I just want to introduce you to somebody. Matt Anderson, will you stand up? Matt will be on February 2nd our new Director of Water Services, and he will be welcome with open arms. We've had a hole to fill there, talking about right people on the bus, and we're delighted with his decision, and we've got plenty of work for him to do. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's an outstanding person, community person, and we'll talk about that next time.
Awesome. And Matt, you got some huge shoes to fill. I mean, Brian Favor, what he did for our department, phenomenal. So, yeah, get ready and strap in. It's going to be great. All right. Anything else? Hearing none, I would take a motion to adjourn. Oh, wait, sorry. Moving on to agenda item N, executive session. We have none. Then agenda item O, adjournment. I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Carlson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay, same sign. We are adjourned.
Hey. Good job, Evan.